I run into people a lot that they don't believe that there is a God. They don't believe God exists. They don't believe that they don't have the same belief system that you and I share.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start talking about these things that you've done in faith, for example, looking for a car, they say, I don't believe in God and I've bought a car, so what's the difference? What's the difference? Why is it different that, or so miraculous, I guess, that you got a car? Well, of course you got a car. You went shopping for a car. That's what somebody who doesn't believe the way we believe would say. So maybe there is some way that you could explain to the audience why that is different than just going shopping for a car.
Well, because it says in the Bible that a good man's steps is ordered by God. So I believe when he says good, meaning it's about your heart. And through your heart is how we communicate with God as well. And so sometimes I believe when people start having their ideas and things about God and they're making it more complicated, then they can't hear him and they can't believe like we do. It's like having a relationship. If me and you have a relationship and then I start making it complicated and there's some issues there, I'm not going to be able to see things that I normally would have been able to see if we were just at our regular relationship, our regular friendship. It's genuine and pure. But when it starts being kind of tension there, I can't see things I normally would genuinely see.
You miss the beauty.
Right.
You miss the beauty of it.
Yes.
Yeah. I always say, when you know, because there are things that have happened where, I've gone to purchase a car, for example, and knew that I didn't really have the money required to do that, but something supernatural has stepped in and said, I'm going to make a way for you.
Right.
And I've been in multiple car accidents where I should not be alive. I shouldn't be here. And yet I felt this presence. I know it was God. Other people might say it's whatever, this earthly thing. I don't know. For me, it's God.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt this presence and my life has been preserved. I've also had moments where I have had other tragedies happen in my life, but then something divine providence stepped in and turned that tragedy into something beautiful. And every time those things happen, my belief gets stronger. My faith gets stronger. And I don't know if you feel this way or not, but I think that the age-old question of why do bad things happen to good people is really more about because God wants to connect with us in such a powerful way. He wants us to be involved with him, and he wants to be a part of our lives. That it's not that he causes these tragedies to happen to us, but he allows us to go through those things so that when we get to the end of our rope, so to speak, we have nowhere left to turn but him. And he would rather take us in our tears than not have us at all.
Correct.
Do you believe that?
I believe that.
Yeah.
Because it says trust in God with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, and he will direct your path. So I believe when we start trusting other things and other people and not God, that's when we lose the way, because it says he will direct your path. So.
And he's directing your path right now with your show.
Yes.
And he's doing those supernatural things that it just doesn't make sense that somebody who's a daycare provider one day would wake up the next day to have this huge show going on. Where's your show going? What are you doing with it right now? Let's talk about that. Tell me all about the show and, what is God doing with that show right now?
Okay, well, first the show was starting with internet radio. From there, he sent me to different events like the Epitome Awards. I did red carpet events, going to the Stella Awards in January. And so I see him making me surrounded by different artists, going to different venues and places. And now it's going to be on television. So it's going from radio to TV.
Radio to TV.
And never
I
millionaires.
know from personal experience, because I did radio for over 2 years, and now we're doing the video format. It's a different beast.
Yes.
When you go from just your voice to your voice and your face. And so you're taking a big step there.
Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot because, you have to deal with networks and all the different things. But I'm just going with the flow and allowing God to open the doors. So therefore, it's not becoming a headache and a hindrance to me. It's just something that I'm passionate about. I'm excited about it. And I'm just like, what is next, God?
What's next? And you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's something big in your future. I think that you're going to go places that even you can't imagine right now with that. I do. And you're so well spoken. And I haven't actually gotten to be a part of your productions or anything like that, but I just know from us talking and visiting that you're doing some amazing things. And I'm sure your guests are just thrilled to get to be on your show.
Yes, I mean, I'm just thrilled that God gave me this job. I mean, for Him to say, you know what, I entrust to give you words to uplift and encourage others.
To encourage others.
That is a big responsibility because I have to make sure now that my heart is right, my life is right, because I'm delivering a message and a word from God.
Absolutely.
And so I have to make sure that I'm not saying anything Tanisha wants to say, that I'm not putting myself in the way, because this is not my show. It's a platform to deliver the words that He wants me to say to someone. I never know who I'm speaking with or who the guest is talking to. And so just to know that someone may have been about to commit suicide, or they may have just said, you know what, this has just been a terrible day and I'm just depressed. And then God uses that one thing, whether it be a song or a word they say or their testimony, to touch that person's heart and let them say, you know what, I was listening to the show at the right time, at the right moment, and it changed my life.
And you like music.
Yes.
You love music, and I think you've had the chance. I have had the chance to interview a lot of local artists and things like that, but you've had the chance to interview some really big name music
Yes.
artists out there, and that's sort of a passion, because I think from speaking with you, I get the sense that you feel that music, and I believe this too, music can really motivate, speak to, and move people in a way that just the regular spoken word can't.
Right.
And so to give an artist an opportunity to share what they have going on through you is a pretty phenomenal thing, to get to be that spokesperson.
Yes, I believe when God gives all of us a tool, it's to be used to minister. So most of the artists that come on and they're singing a song, it's about the words. And I've even heard, even from the melody, whether it be the beat or however God gives it to them, because even the musician has a part to play in the music production. And I believe all of it is to tie into certain people listen to music and they have an ear to hear, and that's what touches their soul. Some people listen to the words, and then some people listen to us.
What's your favorite kind of music?
I love stuff like Carrie Job. I love the softer worship. I'm a worshiper at heart.
Yeah.
So I love worship. And I believe worship is where we actually tap into all of the things that we need.
Yeah. Yeah. Having that heart of worship. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Can you tell the audience how they can find your show? Right now, you're moving in some new directions, and there'll be some new places that our audience will be able to find you. And hopefully, later on, as you start getting out there on those new platforms, then we can have you back on, and you can share that with my audience as well, because I like to share audiences with people, so you can share it with my audience as well. But for now, how can somebody find you? If I want to go listen to your show that you have going on right now, or see it, where do I go? How do I find you?
Right now, they would go to www.103.com, and you click the show Inspirational Moments. It will be going to Icebreaker Gospel. So that's www.icebreakergospel.com, and then you click Inspirational Moments.
Okay, and we will have all of that put up for our viewers to see. So if you didn't catch what Tanisha just said, I'll make sure that you get all of that information by the end of this show, and you can go and watch what she has going on and really enjoy it. I mean, have fun with it, because you have some amazing things going on. You have a great production happening.
Well, I'm just excited that you even wanted me to come on. It's an honor, because I know you're doing some wonderful, great things. And so I'm glad that God even gave you the platform to minister to the hearts of people as well.
Thank you for being here, Tanisha. I am honored. I think this has been a wonderful experience for both of us, and certainly for our listeners. I hope that somebody out there today has been inspired, by your inspirational moments. And you said something earlier before we go off air. I want to reiterate this. And you said, if you have something on your heart to do it. I have been discouraged at times in my life, and I know other people have, or they feel like, oh, I can't do that. And I would really want us to encourage our audience today to be inspired to, if it doesn't matter how small of a dream it might seem to be. It doesn't matter how many failures you've had in the past. It doesn't matter what you think your skills are or are not. If it's just the smallest dream, go after it, especially in this day and age of technology. Sometimes we think, well, I don't know how to do something. Google it. Google
Yes.
it and find out, and just do it. And you don't need a fancy business plan. You don't need a big budget to do anything. I used to teach. I don't know if you know this or not. I used to teach inmates in a prison.
Mm-hmm.
And my job was to give them skills that would help them survive financially on the outside when they got out of prison. And so I taught business management, and I used to get a kick out of people saying, well, you can't do this because you don't have enough money, or you don't have the right education, or you don't have the right skills. And what I used to tell my students was, if you have the right motivation, there's nothing that will stop you, because I still believe in the old American dream, and that is that you can just walk out of your house and create a business out of nothing, or
Yes.
or turn a sawdust into a table. I
Mm-hmm.
really believe that anybody who has a dream, as long as they are willing to go after it, can see that come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
If it's within the will of God, when it's God directed, like we talked about earlier, when God's hand is in that, they can do anything. And I'm sitting here with proof of that. I'm sitting here with a woman who is a daycare provider, who felt like God said, I want you to do a radio show, who is now going from daycare provider to radio to television, and is interviewing people from incredible areas of life that most people don't have the opportunity to meet. So it's true. You never know. Anything can happen to anybody.
Right, because I had no idea how to do radio. I still sometimes feel like a fish out of water, like I'm in a new environment doing something that I didn't know how to do. And so I know that this is God, because every door, every opportunity, every interview, it was designed and orchestrated by Him, even for me to be here today. So I'm just excited for all the doors He's opening, and I'm just enjoying the ride.
Sounds like a good plan. Just keep enjoying the ride. Thank you so much for watching us today, and we hope that you continue to watch us. Again, I will have all of Tanisha's information for you so you can go check her out. In the meantime, if you'd like to know more about the Get Clear Show, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, just go to www.thegetclearshow and go ahead and fill out the form to be a guest. Thank you for watching.